Keine Minute. Nee! Can we already start? Okay. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Cornelius from Intent and I want to explain today why we have such a thin piston rod. A lot of you guys were asking on Instagram what's going on, why is it so thin compared to the normal air shocks with this diameter. The reason is pretty simple. We have on our hover air shock, we have a positive and a negative chamber and roughly 300 psi in the positive chamber, and which leads to roughly 375 psi in the negative chamber. On a normal air shock we have around 250 psi in the positive chamber, which is a little bit lower than our shock, but you have, with the bigger air piston, you have a higher pressure in the negative chamber, roughly 425 psi in this example. And if we do the piston rod with a thinner diameter, we only come up to 375 psi instead of 425 psi, which leads to less friction, better functionality of the seal, and better performance, of course, on the trail. And there was one question upcoming from the guy behind the lens: why do all others have this thick piston rod? And the reason is pretty simple. They need to put in the whole damping structure inside of this diameter. So there is a piston rod inside and there is a damping piston, and they just need some place for this stuff. That's why they have this bigger diameter. And the second question was, why are the others don't make it like you or like we from Intent? And the answer is, I don't know. I think this structure is pretty genius. It's also on some Cannondale and Scott models decades ago, but it's really best option you can do on an air shock. So that's why we are doing it. And why are the others don't do it? We don't know. And third question from the guy behind the lens, Maxi, was can it snap, or what? Can you tell the people something about the durability of it? So I can say one thing from our internal statistics about the number of broken piston rods we had in the past 5 years, and it's zero. So we never had a cracked piston rod. We don't have a hollow structure, so there is no bore inside. There is just full billet of aluminium, so there is no risk for failure. That's our statistics: zero broken piston rods.